like our elder brother Neely Fuller keeps saying, if you don't understand racism, white supremacy, what it is and how it works, everything that you think you know will only confuse you. And, this is a prime example of Donald Trump's white supremacist neo-Nazi regime. Check out my videos last year. I've been saying that since day one. That, the selection, not the election, but the selection of Donald Trump is a prime example of a white supremacist takeover, a neo-Nazi regime. The atmosphere, the climate of the so-called United States of America has shifted into the dominance of white supremacy. And you've seen it here with what's going on right now. Overt racism is the norm now, not covert. You ain't got to be covert no more. Donald Trump made it cool to be an open white supremacist. But you can now see your enemies. It's basically hidden in plain sight. You can be a suit wearing Caucasian that's a white supremacist, like these alt-right guys, right? Or you could be a flat out, KKK, disposable white supremacist, right? A guy out here just saying nigger and all this stuff. What I'm saying is, it's cool to be an open racist. Donald Trump has made it cool for Caucasoids, for troglodytes to be open white supremacists, right? But it's not cool for somebody classified as black, like a Jemele Hill, to call you out that you are a white supremacist, that your regime is white supremacist. Your regime represents the fabric of white supremacy. It's not, for state, basically facts, stating pure facts, getting called out, Jemele Hill forced to apologize, and they want her fired. Like, she's a sports commentator. She works for ESPN. She works for a white-owned establishment. And you want this woman fired for stating facts. You know what I'm saying? That shows you the power and the fabric of white supremacy, what it is and how it works. Jemele Hill is an employee that relies on the dominance of a white-owned company named ESPN for her paycheck. But yet anything to tarnish, so-called tarnish, the reputation, well, there is no reputation of Donald Trump, the leader of white supremacy in America, Donald Trump, anything to basically so-called tarnish his name, his white supremacist regime is going to call you out on that, to show their pure influence and power that they have. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy would go after guys tweeting about him, who all they have is troll accounts, and they would tweet about Donald Trump, and he would go after them, talking about, he wants their accounts deleted and stuff like that. That shows you the sheer dastardly power of white supremacy, which is a mental illness. You see, our ancestor, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, said it best about genetic annihilation of the dominant white society. They know that genetically they are inferior to people classified as black or African American. They know this. And so the times have shifted now, because black people collectively, we have been so dominant throughout the world, through history, thousands of years. The times have shifted now, that because the dominant white society knows how inferior they are genetically to the people classified as black or African American, They want to dominate on now all 9 areas of activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. And so this is no different right now, trying to flex their muscles by issuing a statement saying that Jemele Hill should be fired and she was forced to apologize. I'm gonna go back to this clip. I'm gonna play a clip of White House press secretary, the replacement, talking about the Jemele Hill comment that she made on Twitter. All right, and I'm gonna go back and also read the apology that Jemele Hill stated as well. I mean, it is what it is. But let me play the clip real quick, and then I'll come back with my commentary. This is from Press Secretary Sarah Sanders. My bad, Sarah Sanders Huckabee. All right, let me play this clip real quick on Twitter, and come back with my commentary. Here we go.
Yesterday said Donald Trump is a white supremacist who has largely surrounded himself with other white supremacists. His rise is a direct result of white supremacy, period. He's unqualified and fit to be president. Why do you think, do you have a reaction to that? Is the president aware of that comment? And
I'm not sure if he's aware, but I think that's one of the more outrageous comments that anyone could make, and certainly something that I think is a fireable offense by ESPN.
Okay, so first of all, I don't know who that damn reporter is. The reporter obviously is somebody selected by the Donald Trump white supremacist regime. Why would you care about what an ESPN employee who focuses on sports? Okay, she made a tweet about the president, as many other thousands of people who have platforms. CNN, Fox, or I should say Fox, but CNN, MSNBC, all that kind of stuff. They have prominent platforms, and they have basically the same statements as Jemele Hill about Donald Trump and his white supremacist regime, and the fact that he is a white supremacist since day one. I mean, facts are facts. His father, Donald Trump's father, shows you why the apple don't fall too far from the tree, right? With his allegations of racism, owning a apartment complex, denying African Americans to apply to get an apartment. I mean, the history, like I said, history's there, but why was it so important for this reporter to even ask that question about Jemele Hill, who works for ESPN, an employee, stating facts that Donald Trump is a white supremacist? Right? That shows you the power and the fabric of white supremacy, what it is and how it works. They show you that they control all 9 areas of activity. They show you that they control the narrative. They show you that black people, we are just employees. We are powerless. That's what they show you. Right? All right, so I'm going to read the apology that Donald Trump's white supremacist regime forced Jemele Hill to apologize. It says here, the Sports Center co-host tweeted late Wednesday night about the elephant in the room. My comments on Twitter expressed my personal beliefs, Hill said. My regret is that my comments and the public way I made them painted ESPN in an unfair fight. My respect for the company and my colleagues remains unconditional. Okay. And that was basically her apology. Again, she was forced to apologize by Donald Trump's white supremacist regime. She works for ESPN. They said, hey, you fucked up. All right. You better apologize or you're fired. They gave her some leeway. They just didn't flat out fire her. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if she will be fired if Donald Trump just decides to just put the pressure on ESPN, making threats. Little old Jemele Hill, right? Jemele Hill. What power does she have besides stating her opinion and facts about Donald Trump? See, what Donald Trump does, he doesn't care what kind of target you are, especially when it comes to black people collectively. He knows how powerless we are. So you want to go after just for a prime example of making an example out of you. You go after soft targets like a Jemele Hill. Jemele Hill is a soft target. Donald Trump's a white supremacist. Those are facts. That's a fireable offense. Why do you care about what Jemele Hill, an ESPN employee, has to say? Right? She's an ESPN employee, not a boss. She doesn't write checks. She's an employee. All right? Why do you care? You care because you want to flex the power and the fabric of white supremacy. The ideology of white supremacy coming from Donald Trump is to destroy and make a mockery and make an example of anybody that tarnishes your name. That is the fabric, and that's the identity, and that's the ideology of white supremacy. Point blank and simple. All right? So Donald Trump and ESPN made her apologize. We'll see what happens next. Is Donald Trump going to go further and make, threats about ESPN and force Jemele Hill to be fired? We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. We live in a system of racism, white supremacy, and this is how it works. Bottom line. All right? All right, family. So those are my quick thoughts on that. Leave your comments down below about this story. Let me know what you guys think. All right, family. Until next time, Chauncey, a.k.a. the Black Separatist, signing out. Peace.